Good morning. I am back. Sorry about my absence. Well, I've just not managed to film videos recently, just for various reasons. And apparently I only film videos when I get ready, so I hope you can all forgive me that I'm once again going to be doing my makeup while I talk to you guys. I have therapy in 45 minutes, so I thought I'd just talk to you guys and film while I'm getting ready. I hope you're all well. I'm hesitant to say it, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better, I think. There's definitely up and downs, like you've caught me on a good day. It's literally, I've been awake for about 2 hours, but like I'm kind of relaxing into non-uni life. I've started back up at my job, which I work at in summer. I'm just like I work in a cafe, like a barista, and I was nervous, but I think it's really good for me, and I was quite excited to go back because yeah, I think it's good to have some structure. Like, I never work too much during the summer because I will burn out if I work too much. Like, me and work, we don't get along that well. But I'm very lucky that I have a job that I really enjoy. So I'm just doing like 1 shift a week at the minute. And yeah, it's good. It's nice to like have to think about other things, because it really does, like, I'm sure those of you that have a job know, like, you have to think about your work when you're at your work. And I also, like, work is also kind of like a social outlet for me because I really get on with the people I work with. So yeah, I think that's definitely a positive impact. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of like talk about like some thoughts I've been having recently. Yeah, I've been feeling a lot of, I've had a bit of like struggling a bit with my morality, OCD. If you want to watch my video on OCD, you can go to my channel and watch me chat about OCD for about an hour. But yeah, I've been kind of just struggling with it a little bit because, as I mentioned, and I've probably mentioned in other videos, like, I am inherently a people pleaser. That's just like, because of my anxiety, because of my OCD, I am so like, whatever anyone else wants, that's fine. It's definitely something I'm better at than I used to be, but I think I still need to work on it and like allowing myself to put myself first for once. I'm struggling, I'm feeling very guilty at the minute because I am feeling like I am not being a good friend. I've definitely spoke about this before, that it's one thing depression does, is that, like, you know, when I'm in my deep depressive episodes, I experience a lot of guilt because I cannot be there for my friends, for my relationships in a way that I would like to be. But I'm a bit more forgiving of myself because it's like, I'm literally in an episode, I can only do what I can do. I don't know, I'm very hard on myself. I know I am a good friend. I know that I am, because of the nature of who I am. I'm a caring person, I'm a kind person. I am always there for my friends, or at least I try to be. But I think it's such a hard balance of being there for your friends, being there for your relationships, your friendships, your, you know, your family, all of that, but also looking after yourself and also listening to your own body and not always putting everyone in front of you. I don't even know if this makes sense, but it's like choosing your battles and choosing when you are able to be there for someone else, and then knowing when the times when you know that like you need to look after yourself first. And like, as everyone always says, you cannot help others and like, you know, give them your energy, give them your love, give them water from your cup if your cup of water isn't full. Like, you always have to fill up, as my therapist says, your own emotional bank account before you are able to give other people, or like give things in life, your money, you know, your energy. Like, your energy is like your currency. And I think I've just been struggling with that because I have been feeling very run down, like naturally, because I have finished uni, and kind of the last like couple months have really caught up to me, and like I have just been trying to do what I need for myself to kind of let my brain switch off and relax, and, you know, give myself the time to get back to me. But in doing that, because that means I'm naturally like putting myself first, it means that I'm maybe neglecting my friendships or neglecting things that benefit others. And I don't know, I think it's just a hard balance of like being there for other people but also still giving yourself time to do the things that you need to do, and spending time with the people that you need to spend time with. I just think that like I'm so hard on myself, and I know I am so hard on myself. I'm very aware of the fact that I'm so hard on myself, and I know everyone does this to some extent, but particularly because I have anxiety and depression, and my mental illnesses do interact with how I behave, how I feel, how I act towards people, that I will often, when I am thinking about friendships and relationships in my life, all I will focus on is the negative aspects of me that come out in those friendships. Like, for example, I'll be like, oh, like when I'm anxious, I'm not present in my friendships, in my, like, whoever's around me. I will be angry, I will get upset, I will be more irritable because of my head. Like, I won't be able to be there in, you know, in real time. And or like, you know, when I'm depressed, like I have nothing to say, I can't talk to people. That makes me spiral, because then I'm like, well, why is anyone friends with me? Because all I do is worry, all I do is like, all I am is sad. Like, I disregard all the positive aspects of me and my character and my personality, and I just focus on the fact that I'm like, yeah, no one will want to be friends with me because I'm a burden. And I feel like I've just heard it like a lot, that recently I've just been kind of saying in passing, like I'll just be like, oh yeah, like, you know, this person, like I'll be like, yeah, they have to deal with like my worries, they have to deal with my stresses, or like, you know, I'm kind of like, yeah, like I just don't know how they put up with me. It's like a narrative that I tell myself that is very unhelpful, and it's not fair to myself. Because I remember I was saying it to my flatmate that I was like, yeah, like they have to put up with this, they have to put up with this, and my flatmate was like, why are you saying that? They were like, no one has to put up with you. Like, it's not like you're this like limpet that just has no qualities apart from you just stress people out. Like, that's not you. So why are you telling yourself that narrative? Because also it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think that about yourself, like, you will, if that's the story you're telling yourself, I will end up pushing people away. Because literally, and I do that, I am actively doing that, and I have done that throughout my life, that I will tell myself that like, yeah, you're a burden, like why would anyone want to hang out with you, like all this kind of stuff, like all you do is worry, all you do is stress. So like I will push people away because any change in their behavior, any like, I don't know, I'm literally like, yeah, it's because of me, it's because I'm too much, it's because they hate me, when in reality it's nothing to do with me. But because I'm telling myself this narrative, I'm then looking for evidence that fulfills that narrative, if that makes sense. And I just think that I have been, because as I've said, like, my anxiety and overthinking and all that has been quite bad this kind of year. It is making me like doubt my friendships and my relationships, because I'm just like, why would anyone want to be with me? Like, that's my narrative, or like be around me or whatever, you know. But when you're in that mindset, it's so much easier to focus on the negatives. It's so much easier to look at all the negatives, because again, that's like, as humans we do, you know. It's like people that get like trolled on the internet. Don't know why I said that so weird. You will have 1,000 nice comments, but there will be one comment that's negative and not nice, and that's the one you focus on, and you just disregard the positive, because that's what our brains do. And that's what I'm doing right now, is that I am not seeing my own worth. I'm just focusing on the fact that this is wrong with me, this is wrong with me. And I said this in my first video, that I was always scared to tell people about my depression, tell people about my struggles, because I was like, I don't want that to be my identity, to people to treat me differently because of what I struggle with. But again, as I said, depression and anxiety are just a part of me. They are not. I'm still sweating here. That's not okay. Like, depression and anxiety, they're just a part of me. It is the same if I had diabetes, if I had another, now, like, you know, if I had like a heart condition, like, that alters your life a little bit and makes you unable to do certain things. Like, if you have an allergy, it's stuff like I'm not belittling mental illness in the slightest, but like, it doesn't take, like I've said this before, it doesn't take away from the fact that I also have so many redeeming qualities about myself. And I think that's really what I've been struggling with, is that I'm aware I'm doing it, but all I focus on is the fact that, you know, if I look at a day, if I'm spending it with a friend, whoever, I'm like, oh my god, like, for that hour I was stressed and I was anxious and I was maybe rude to them and I was whatever. I'll focus on that 10% rather than the rest of the day where we had a lovely time and it wasn't all, you know, it clouds your vision, and it makes you think that like, oh my god, that was me the whole day, and like, why would they want to spend time with me because that's all I did? But like, no, it's like, oh, we actually had a lot of laughs and we had a lot of, like, it was just this little period where I was anxious and upset, and like, it's not who I am, it's not everything about me. Also, like, everyone, you know, I'm not special in the fact that I have depression, I have anxiety. I'm not special. Like, everyone has baggage, everyone has different things that affect their lives, that trouble them, that stress them. And, you know, sometimes it feels like you're the only person in the world and you're the problem, because I say that a lot, that I'm the problem, which again is not a nice thing to say about yourself. But I always am like, oh, like, I'm the one with the issues, I'm the one that has all this. Everyone just expresses their issues, their worries differently, and just because someone doesn't express it in the same way you do doesn't mean they're not struggling with something, doesn't mean that they're not thinking about something and something's preoccupying them. It's just like different methods of communication, different methods of dealing with things. And I know that there is so much more to me than my anxiety and my depression and blah blah blah. And I know that there are periods when my friendships, my relationships are really good because I'm in a good place and because I don't feel as affected by my head, whereas there are then periods where I am more affected and it is more of a struggle. But I will always focus on that and then be like, well, why does anyone want to be around me? Because that's what I'm like. But I'm not like that all the time. I just think that I am. And I just think that's why, like, I'm struggling with my friendships and you know, I might put you here, like struggling with navigating things at the minute because I am just constantly telling myself, because of, you know, tiny things, I'm like, yeah, I'm a bad friend. Yeah, I'm a really bad friend. Like, but the reality is, like, you cannot be a perfect friend 100% of the time, because if you do not look after yourself, you cannot be there for other people. Like, you can. And, you know, it's like when you're on a plane and they say you put your own oxygen mask on before you put someone else's on, because you have to be okay yourself before you can help others. My OCD is like, I have to put every single person before myself. I have to be there for everyone. I have to be the perfect person, you know, because then nothing bad will happen and nothing, I don't know, nothing can come and get me. Or like, just even in the fact that like, oh, then everyone will think good of me because I always put other people before myself. But it's like, you can't always put other people before yourself. You just can't. Yeah, I'm just very much focusing on the things that I'm not being able to do in my friendships and my relationships at the minute, instead of all the things that I can do. Because again, I remember listening to a podcast and it was like, you know, the good about your, when you think about good qualities in yourself, whatever, they will outnumber the bad. They will. But we always focus on the bad qualities. I also remember that my friend Robbie, like, I remember when I was just like, I think I'm a bad person, like, you know, he was just like, do you think bad people worry about being good people? And I was like, that's true. Like, the fact that I am even aware that I could be potentially being a bad friend, a bad person, means that I am trying and I have good intentions. Of course, there's always something, you know, I finished my exams and now my brain's like, okay, we'll worry about being a good person. But I always want to be transparent with you guys, and that is what I am struggling with at the minute. Like, I was sat there thinking about it the other day and I was like, you know, because of things that are just going on in my life at the minute. Yeah, because things going on in my life at the minute, I maybe haven't been there or present in my friends' lives as I have been before. It's not like I've been completely absent, but like I just maybe haven't been, you know, as I have previously. And like, one, that's okay. Like, that's life. We go through periods where you just can't, you know, things just happen. You can't always be as present and as close to your friends all the time, because life is just full of things that like come up and crop up and things. And yeah, so one, that's just life. And two, like, for the first time, or like the first time in a long time, I am, in some aspects of my life, I am putting myself first and doing the things and spending time with people who I want to spend time with, and like who, I don't know, not that it's an excuse, but like I have spent a lot of my life trying to please other people and be there for other people and be, you know, the right person. But like, it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. Like, it doesn't, and I'm also saying this to me as much as I am to anyone else who's watching this, but like, it's okay to put myself first sometimes, and it doesn't automatically make me a bad person or a selfish person. It just means that like, you can't always be there for other people. I'm just basically giving myself a pep talk in this video. Like, and also just kind of like forgiving myself, because I have been dealing with a lot, and again, you can't do everything. You can't be in all these different places. You can't, like, you have to like be kind to your brain, and sometimes that means not being able to show up for things, not being able to show up for people, because there are other things going on in your brain, in your life, that you need to look after and take care of. Because again, your happiness and your well-being is your priority. Like, you should be your number one priority. It's your life. And I think that's when, like, you know, your true friends will understand that sometimes people need to retreat for a little while and, you know, just do them and work on things outside of friendships and all that. I don't know where my hairbrush is. Oh, it's here. I think I've just been very hard on myself. I know that there are some things that I need to work on to be able to be there more for my friends and be more present in things, and the fact that I'm aware of it is the first step. Like, I'm not perfect at all, and I have been dealing with a lot, so naturally my friendships and things have been affected. Yeah, I am aware that, like, there is a lot that I would like to work on, and I will, but it's also like forgiving yourself. No one's perfect, and like, yeah, it's okay to go through periods like this. No one's perfect, and it's just that balance of being there for yourself but also being there for other people, you know, like, particularly because I've had quite an exhausting time, naturally, so I've maybe not been challenging my anxieties, challenging my worries as much as I would like to, which then results in me affecting friendships, me affecting relationships because of my worries. But I also know that, like, you have to have the energy, you have to be in the right headspace to fight your battles, to, you know, you have to pick and choose your battles. It's okay that I don't always feel strong enough to fight my brain. That's okay. Like, I've definitely not felt strong recently. Like, I've felt very weak and vulnerable because of my head and my brain, and I'm hoping that, you know, now it's summer and I have more time to really work on the parts of myself that I want to work on, and which will then result in me kind of getting back to a place where I feel more secure and good in my friendships and my relationships, because I feel happier myself. But also, it's exhausting because it is more work, and again, there's that whole kind of narrative that, like, you're not worthy as you are, and, like, you'll only be worthy of love and happiness when you work on yourself and when you fix all the bad things about yourself. But I'm worthy of love now as I am. I'm worthy of happiness, and so are you. You don't have to fix your trauma responses, you don't have to fix your anxieties to be worthy of love. You should want to fix or work on your struggles so you can have a better life. It's not to alter your worth, it's just so your life can be of ease. Because I remember I was talking to my sister a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, because I was just saying I'm so exhausted and I don't want to fight anymore, I don't want to fight my brain, like, I'm so tired. And she was like, but think how good it will feel when you work on your responses, and when something triggers you, when you're in an anxiety-inducing situation and you don't feel triggered and you don't feel what you feel right now. She was like, how good is that going to feel? And that kind of highlights it. It's like, I want to work on them. I should want to work on it not for other people, but because it will make my brain a safer and more peaceful place to be. And that's kind of, I think, the thing about healing, is because I also thought for so long that I was like, okay, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, I'm not ready to have meaningful friendships because I need to work on myself and I need to love myself and all that. But it's like, healing is about living a better life for yourself. It's not about healing for other people, you're healing for yourself. You are healing, you are putting work into yourself for a better life, and you're already worthy of love. It's just about how you want a better experience of life. I don't know if that made literally any sense. It was kind of just like a thought dump of everything going on in my brain. If it helped, I'm glad. If it didn't, I'm sorry. You just watch me do my makeup and chat. But yeah, I will try and be a bit more regular with uploading, and I hope I've got a new top on. I hope everyone's well. I love you all, and you are worthy of so much love and so much happiness.